It's March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, 2019. It's Johnny WordSlinger, and we're going to do a reading of Execution Doc, read by Brian Temple.
Execution Doc, a screenplay by Johnny E. O'Hara, aka John E. WordSlinger, edited by Muna Khan. Execution Doc. Execution Doc. As night falls inside the prison, a dark prisoner walks down the hall. A cell door opens. A man walks in to the cell, turns around, and it is Priest Loprioni, who looks back and it says the cell door closes. The camera fades out to the exterior as courtside road. It's daylight. A little girl is walking down the road. Her name, Roberta, as the camera fades out. It's the same day. The weather was very chilly. On this area of the dock, where it was forbidden, 3 convicted, beaten, and worn pirates were chained to ramps until the tides had passed over their heads. They were bruised and raggedy as the ocean steady picking up tide. The merchant ships on the seaside. Max the headsman. The headsman Max, executioner of the land, walked down and cut the hanged and dead. Their bodies hit the floor. His servant, Richard Bones, his right-hand man, picks up the bodies off the dock. His servants carried away the bodies in carts and placed them in a fire pit of massive stone. Max recites a poem as he walks down the dock. I, the dog man, with many blows from my swaying axe, inhumanely off go your heads for no guineas or tax. Yes, I adore songs. Bring me rats that sing songs. Bring me rats who's pissed off the king. As the rats run across the dock. Give me the tramps. Give me the tramps who have lost their divine stamps. I have a great collection of their noses and ears. Adulterers kept my profession heavy through the years. I praise my axe maker. He has made me a great head taker. I care not for untrue allegations. I, the great executioner of this nation. Yes, me, Maximilian. I have axed a million. Innocent I care the least. I'll take a dirty priest who smuggles tobacco and silk blood, throws the finest of milk. They bring pirates as far as Madagascar. Loot, and I will win the game again. Max the Axe is my name. If you are lucky, you'll die in my filthy jail. But the odds are slim, because I'm gonna take you to hell. Jail cells open, inmates walk in. So go ahead, rape and kill for gold and coin, and your head and body shall never be rejoined. So it is best to frank a wedge, because you'll feel my axe's edge. The axe maker keeps it sharp to file For most, there is no trial. So wear white and be a repetitive representative ghost. You're welcome to come to my coast. Send and ask for a trial by this host. If not, you can wear my animal's mask and frighten your babies. Or you can wear my badges of tongue and scare your ladies. People wearing animals' masks and babies are scared. Ha ha ha! Images. Imagine images of the imagery below in the poem. Woman, if your mouth loves to backbite, the spit fear, I have a docking stool to strap you to here, and it is never thus tired. And after that I have spikes and a bridle wires to scold your face. People love this headgear, that you'd wear to every place. I have boiling water to prove your innocence, but the boiling iron is my favorite for every citizen. I can make your life easy and suffocate you in mud, or tie you to the dock and watch you take the flood. I am an animal too, and love murderous pigs. My men feed off the sows, and so do the wigs. I have people now hanging in the cages of death, so public come and hear them take their final breath. It's all milk and honey to me. So are my metal peers for anyone to eat. I am wide open and sharp indeed. Your sinful parts are my parts, while my goat licks your feet. No one has lived from any of my turns. I love this more than watches witches burn. Max, the torturer, heads down the hall to the dock, walks to the basin in the torture hall, and washes his bloody hands. And there is a mirror. Max hears something outside. He looks into the mirror, and the audience almost gets a glimpse of what Max sees. There is a window. He goes to the window. A group of men were up to mischief, galloping away on horses, and their faces were covered with cloth. Note, Max's face is hidden all the time without his hood on. He talks from angles and from his back. Max. My nose, I smell enemies and intrusion. The unravelings between heaven and hell. It's time for a hunting party. You can't poison because poison is already poison. God's agents, Satan's agents. The conflicts never end until they are brought to me, and I see what's on their insides. Bones was eavesdropping outside the door with a mop in hand and comes inside. Yes, sir! Max. No night walking tonight. Watch the halls. I have to talk to the Lord. We have food. There's no need to look for any baskets from town. Bones looks at the food baskets. I have the Judas chair to clean, sir. Judas chair covered with blood, piss, and shit. Max. Do that when I get back. Do a better job on the knee splitter, like you did on the breast ripper. Shows the torturer's tools. Bones. You left a pirate in the coffin swing, sir. Max. How many days? Bones. 3. Max. 1 more day. Feed the rats, will you? And oil the head crusher. Show the head crusher. Bones. Moving a saw for torture to the sink. Yes, sir. The new icon chair and shackles have not yet come. Max. I'll bring back some bread and maybe some wine. Max grunted. He walks up to a prisoner tied to a breaking wheel on the dock. Well, I'll feed you to the rats when I get back, he said. A massive explosion happens at the bottom. Blast continues, echoes everywhere. Continue, blast, 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 chaos all around. Max looks on in awe with his hood on. Sparrow, the astrologer, an alchemist, walked up to Max. An omen, said Sparrow. Max. I differ, religious bandit. To engage destruction, I saw them leave on horses. This is not some crusade looking for Spanish priests. Spherical. The holes filled with the dying syphilis. Max looks at him with concern and guilt. Do you fear a foreign enemy? Max says. Spherical looks at him suspiciously. As well as deliberately. Yes. As the scene fades out. Groups of night begin to form and search the city. Fade back to the sea. This is joining the call from some major stones. I am sure the Lord is dead. Spherical. Ace. You God-fearing man on the inside, Max. Louise. Spherical. You work would be better, much easier using ropes, trees, and gravity, you know, Max. Dare again to take my joy away, Spherical. The church going to come to you for help. Max. I am the genie. People can be heard shouting, the king is dead! The king is dead! Everyone is dead! Fade out. Max's torture room. Daylight. Bones carrying not for the chaos. He was working fast to get all of his work done. And feed the rats. There was a knock on the door. Bones answers. It was Christina. A perky young lady. When one sees her, your eyebrows raise positively, even though she looks like she just rolled out of bed. I need a whip so I can whip myself. Mine you stolen from a peddler on the street. I need a gun too. I'll give you a hand job, she says. Owen smiles. Did you see the beetle fellow, you? Christina smiles. No. Bones unbuckles his belt and lowers his breeches. Christina walks behind Bones, looks up to him, and she smiles as the scene fades out. It's daylight in the city. Images of the city. A gang precating were banging pots and pans and shouting, the king is dead, everyone is dead. The city became a carnival of looting. The city was being held at everyone's ransom. Anarchy was alive. The king is dead. Forsmorgans were in major street battles with goldsmiths. Monks were kidnapping women. The king's jesters, Mr. Yeller, were running across spitting babble, crazy, out of his mind, weird thoughts, with blood all over him and jingling his bells. Jester Mr. Yellow, in his brown and yellow costume, with a triple horn hood, headdress, and black cape. Images of the imagery below in the poem. Justice Mr. Yellow. No more fun, no more striking out of my tongue. Yellow, yellow dunce, you only live once. I thought I got to choose, foolish me, I did lose. But today, I get to choose the price to pay. Colors melted over words. I am lost. Motivation, so absurd. Robbed from the rich, now it's easily done. Then had trumpets of war. Yes, trumpets of war. Sounds of the trumpets in the background. I have never seen anything more hostile, but it does make me smile. Rattle, rattle, the whole city is in battle. Oh, I better fear, yes, the sword, the spear. A servant becomes king. Who'd dream of such a thing? This thought I do hate, to jiggle death's real, but life, yes, life's the struggle. I better find a new dance and change my pants. I better find a new chord. I don't live long being a fool. The king is dead, and there's no grace. I must run to the field and hide my face. No more propaganda, my majesty. I have lost my mind and modesty. Oh, I must go now before the city's full of ravens. But I know not of any safe havens. I am a dandy and must escape before Max finds me. And what are his eyes behind his powerful hood cape? I may be his last joke. I too need a cloak. But I have a secret I have had to keep. I know who's the one who stole his sheep. I will be blamed for all of this pillage. Every soul will be hunting me down from village to village. I better hide my laughter. Max is coming. It's he is after. What I to do about my palace? What does it matter when the world loves malice? Oh, malice, a world now I have saw, a world without morals and laws. Maybe I could form a turnabout, and the world won't start a world war. I must warn the queen, the grass is no longer green. Mr. Yellow feels anxious, anxiety and fear. Feeling anxiety and fear, looks down at his dirty, pointed shoes and his hands, and felt a different universe take over the world as him. The world turned dark, but things that were of light shine more intense. A dark view, master-like view, a dark. He felt something over from below. He felt demons. People were all around him with big feet and with no mouths. Mr. Yellow felt lost and spunked. A viral question hit him hard, whether or not they were human. More anxiety and fear came over him. A male dog with a human head came up to him, and a man with his head in his chest came running up to Mr. Yellow. It was a Bellamia with his face and his torso, and spoke. She won't bite you. Head, chest, Bellama man says, smiles. Mr. Yellow, turns around to look at the demon again, only to see a beautiful woman's body with a dog's head make a lustful smile at him. He felt his virginity and questioned were they after his secret. Sirens appeared everywhere, in the sky and the river, and the water slowly turned reddish. The sirens sung in chorus, their upper bodies of human and their lower bodies of birds and fish made Mr. Yellow take deep breath, and by instinct he ran to the castle to warn the queen. A unicorn with a broken horn ran in front of him for its life. A group of knights spotted Mr. Yellow and chased him all the way to the castle. The castle was surrounded by townsfolk. Mr. Yellow looked at the tallest tree to the window and climbed it to the top. He looked at the branches to see which could swing him into the window. He saw one jumped and grabbed it. He swung easily in and ran in the castle to find the queen. As the scene fades out, exit. Exterior darkened hall is daylight. It is Bones. Looking out the door, watching Christina walk away. Look at the boat tied to the dock and steps into the city to see the chaos for himself. Everyone was talking to each other as he walked. He looked at the blown up Parliament building burning away. Fade in to the castle. It's daylight as Queen Jones hugging Max and crying at the bottom of the stairs. Mr. Yellow stopped dead in his running tracks when he seen the Queen. Mr. Majesty, my Majesty, my heart aches. The king is dead. He looks at the man who wants him dead. Max. Max laughs. Beware, Your Highness, beware. He knows all of the secrets. He has been everywhere. Mr. Yellow, flashbacks, thought about the demons and fear came upon him again. He scrunches because he had to pee. Max laughs. Queen Jones, Mr. Yellow, this is no time for your magic. Mr. Yellow looks at Max. Who is new? Who is new to death? You do, Max. Who? This calls for revenge. Max grits his teeth. Mr. Yellow. Max, they can't kill me better than you. This has to be a killing spree. You can do it better, woman. Queen Jones says, Max, I rule, and I want these killers drenched in blood. Mr. Yellow, where is the fortune speller special? Everything needs to be hardlined now, Mr. Yellow. I am not seeing him since yesterday, my Majesty. He has renegades everywhere. Knights are running into the castle. First night. Everyone in here, Your Highness, to tell your testimony. Outside castle is daylight. The townsfolk are gathering, shouting, bloody, bloody, they shouted. Back to the scene in the castle with the Queen. Queen Jones looks at the knights and everyone else. Everyone needs to leave. Knight, what is your name? The Queen asks. The knight replies, Ray. Queen Jones stands guard and makes everyone leave the castle with Mr. Yellow's Cicero and tell him to come see me. Knight Ray. Yes, Your Highness. Everyone leaves and Max looks at the Queen. Max, on the way out, Max stops Mr. Yellow. Max, I know you know where my sheep are. You also know who has done this thing. Mr. Yellow ran away. I'll come by your place soon enough. Max says as the scene fades out. Mr. Yellow. I have not seen him since yesterday, my majesty. We have renegades everywhere. Knights came running into the castle. First night. Everyone is here, your highness, to tell you your testimony. Outside castle, it turns daylight. Townsfolk. Bloody, they shouted. Bloody, they shouted. Back to the scene. Castle. Queen Jones looks at the right, and everyone needs to leave. Knight, what is your name? She asks. Knight says Ray. Queen Jones. Stand guard and make everyone leave the castle. Mr. Yellow. Find Sparcerio and tell him to come see me. Knight Ray. Yes, your highness. Everyone leaves and Max looks at the queen. On the way out, Max stops Mr. Yellow. Max says to Mr. Yellow, I know you. Know where my sheep are. You also know what has done this terrible thing. Mr. Yellow ran away. Max. I'll come by your palace soon enough. As the scene fades out. Exit. The city day light is upon the city. Bones sees Christina run into Mr. Yellow's palace. Fades in. Back to scene. Mr. Yellow exits. Mr. Yellow, as he ran, he saw sirens and every three laughing at him. And they all said, you sound like a kid. And he ran faster. The sirens looked at each other in the trees and were impressed with his speed. The sirens all said the same at the same time. Candy! Bodies were everywhere as Mr. Yellow got to the explosion zone. He knew Superior was there watching the parliament burn. Mr. Yellow. Did you call them? He asked Superior. Superior answered Mr. Yellow. They were on time. Human-like ravens were tooting all around the fire. Superior. We could not see their souls. These demons are refugees now in this realm. I have brought madly caution, Mr. Yellow. Mr. Yellow. Can we stop it? Superior, the priest says. Everyone has to stop them by their own selves. But it was not our fault. We are not the only ones. They are all like us. Conjured the cells. The cells. Mr. Yellow. Thought about escape and what was the right words to say, looking around the fire and the bright human caravans in some kind of combat. I have to help Max with the mayhem, said Mr. Yellow. The Superior of the priest answered Mr. Yellow. Mr. Yellow, do not speak. They all can hear you. Mr. Yellow says, I have seen them. It is another fire. He looked at the fires one more time and saw that the bright human ravens digging through fires with shining sticks. He felt something behind him, and it was a teenage girl. She was raggedy. He walked fast up to her. He said, You are home from being sent away from school, correct? The girl replies, Yes, Mr. Yellow. Follow me. And while blocking everything else out, he sensed she was scared from her soul. He knew she knew they were fresh and spiritually clean. Thus devils appeared here and there, and whipping winds swung kettle sounds. Mr. Yellow sensed many watching them. He looked and seen the horsemen looking at all from across the river. Images pan out to see the horsemen staring eerily across from the river. Mr. Yellow, he dared not to look back, and looked at the girl. The ground begins to shake. He recalls the feeling of what came below. He thought about Superior, the police. Fade in to Superior. Superior walking across from the devastation and the fires. Superior says, I shook the web. I started the fire. As the scene fades out, twilight comes, sets upon the dock. Max and Bones are having a conversation. They meet each other at the dock. A prisoner let them down off the breaking wheel, and Max chained him to the dock and poured a brew rat's love all over him and walked away. Bones stomps on the prisoner's hands so that he could not fight off the rats. Max says, they're all ace guilty. Innocence is a myth. Bones. He looks at a pool of stones. Max. You have a hickey. Bones. You know me. Max. Who was it? Bones. Won't you like to know, sir? Max. Did you steal? Bones. Oh, wouldn't you like to know, sir? Max. Your credit is stopped, Bones. Max looks around the dock. Bones. The Queen is subscribed to Mr. Yellow. Max, Bones says to Max. Max grunts, and walks off to the day's work inside. The day quickens fast, and the moon arrives smiling. Scene comes, exterior Mr. Yellow's palace. It is nighttime. Christiana speaks. We have to go. The pirate Kettler, he was removing a bandage around his neck, and so it revealed that he was hung. I am ever grateful to you for saving my life, Christiana replies to the pirate. I have brought you a gun and ammo. You owe me no shillings, sir. The pirate Edgar takes the gun, looks at it. What is all the chaos out there? Christiana answers. The Parliament has blown to smithereens. The pirate smiles. Mr. Yellow and a little girl come to his home. Christiana looks at the girl and can tell she has been whipped. The girl's eyes are riddled with pain. Let me see your back, Christiana asks the girl. Roberta? Show Christiana your back. Roberta shows Christiana her back, and scars are seen. She has been to an auto-correct program. She needs to eat. She is too tiny. Her hands are calloused. What is your name? What did they make you do? Christiana asked Roberta. Roberta replied, they made me do farming, and they made my name is Roberta. They took my doll away because I would not join the teasing gang. So they outlawed me, Christiana. Did they try to kill you? Roberta replies, yes, but I got away and climbed a tree. The next morning I ran away to here. Pirate Kettler. He can come with us too. Christiana smiles. Mr. Yellow looks out his window. Roberta. None of you serve the crown. They all replied, nay! Mr. Yellow. We have to hurry. We are surrounded by demons. As the scene fades out, the dark comes upon the night. Max is speaking with the Judge Dulac. Judge Dulac replies to Max. How can you stand the stench here, being so close to the city's sewer? Max, someone has to do it. Judge Dunley. I have a smuggler in jail upstairs. I want you to execute him now, and I want to watch. Max. Was he a part of the explosion? Judge Dunley replies to Max. Maybe. He won't say. But he has been smuggling weapons. Too many violations of the Articles of War. I gave him no ale, no marshals dance for this prisoner. Something more painful for this one. What do you suggest? Max answered the judge. I love my rats. Rat torture. You can do it. And hold the torch because I have to help the queen. Judge Dunley. I like that. I like it. I love the stick. I love hearing them beg for God to take their lives, the crying and the smiling, to make the pain worse until death comes. Yes, let's do this now. Max. Bones! Bones comes out of the hallway. Max. Assist the judge with a prisoner. He deserves torture. And get the bucket of rats. Bones. Yes, sir. Judge Dunley. Harrowing is grand too, but this will work. Fade out to the Queen Castle. Night falls. Night Ray speaks. You have plagued my family. You are a racist. Your future in the kingdom is over. Queen Jones replies. Who are you? Night Ray. I am the tower's head jailer. The people outside want me to kill you in a bloody way. You have a choice, poison or the sword. Queen Jones. Oh, you will not get away with this. You will be taken through the traitor's gate. The queen fights with the Night Ray. Night Ray holds the queen down and forces her to drink the poison. She quickly dies, and he drags her lifeless body to the balcony so that the townfolk can see that the Night Ray throws her over the balcony. She is stomped on by the townspeople. Fade in. Outside the queen's castle, it is still night. Same scene, but the demon realm appears. All around while people are stomping the queen, Night Ray walks out of the castle. He gets on a horse, and some demons come up close to him and praise him. He does not sense them. Fade out to the torture hall. It is still nighttime. Max lights the torch for Judge Dunley. Judge Dunley holds it under the metal bucket that straps to his smuggling prisoner's stomach. Max speaks. You will know when the rat starts tearing into you. And it won't be long now. I'm going to the castle to check out the queen. More explosives are heard outside. Max opens the door and sees the bridge crossing to the west is on fire. A section of it are blown away into the river. He yells and yells out, "They have ruined our Mermaids!" Bone comes up to Max. Bone says, "The whole city is under attack. People are divided. Goosey gander. Should I fetch pails of water?" Max, I am beginning to think this is the work of Vikings. Bones, I have retrieved the silver bells and the cockle shells, Max. Max, everyone is blind and in heresy. Every many more. So who is here to overthrow? A scream could be heard inside the hall. Max, the rats! Bones, the women prisoners need to be excused around the Mulberry Bush. Max, Bones, this is no time for your pleasure. Bones, all right, but you won't forget to breathe the wine, the bread and wine. Max, all right, go to the inn and be back by 9. Look at the bridge and grunts. Fade out. Courtside Road. Night scene. Priest's apparel. Speaking with the manticores. Being with heads of men, bodies of lions, and the tail of the scorpions. A skipod harrowing one leg and one foot came hopping up the road and past them speaking. They killed the royals. A Muslim, a half woman, half serpent, came slithering up to Scorpio and spoke. The Muslim says, "The giants are coming to take one you love. See her over there, hanging in the tree, by her hair?" A woman is hanging in the tree by her hair. A demon is near her with a rod, smiling. Priest Superior cries out, "No! I did my duty. The hall's filled with the dying. They're all laughing at him." Runt's footsteps could be heard. Fade in as the city falls tonight. Mr. Yellow, Roberto Cristiano, and the pirate Keller are walking through the city in a hurry. Wings of strength and the sound of flight could be heard from above. Something big was flying, but belongings could not be seen. As they stopped to figure out what it was, A gust of cool wind came behind them, and there standing was the devil himself. But only Mr. Yellow and Roberta could see the Lord of darkness. Against the sound of flight could be heard, but more abundant, and behind them now stood two angels, and only Mr. Yellow could see them. Roberta, it's alright, the devil. With his black eyes, skin, hair, and wings, he scratched his taloned feet, laughs. I will spread everyone here, laughs. Hickey and Scruckle wherever until time ends. They'll all run. Mr. Yellow stops. Oh God, smells like slaughterhouse. It smells like a slaughterhouse that has been going on for days and left wide open to rot. The devil. Run, all you wish. I will find another way. Roberta felt brave and stuck out her tongue at the devil. As she stuck out her tongue back at her, Pirate Shelter turned around and fired a gunshot at the devil, but it went right through him. The devil laughs. Mr. Yellow, don't do that again. He is more powerful than you can imagine, Pirate Custer. Aye, don't test me, fool. I am watching you too. Mr. Yellow, your fear is getting the best of you. And where did you think that came from? Stop coming here. Mr. Yellow seen a hunting party, men in white robes he has never seen before. So they hid in a tailor shop until the hunting party passed. Mr. Yellow, the devil is causing hysteria now, and we are going to look like a threat to everyone. He will look like an enemy. With apes fighting, we cannot cheat the devil. Do all you know the Lord's Prayer? Yes, they all replied. Scorpio is to blame. He batted the nest of hell. A handsome man walks by and comes into the shop.